Hey y'all. Okay, so I'm back on these country Wayne skits. Look like I'm today. It look like I'm going to the current and then go back. That's what I'm doing because I wanted to talk about some stuff with Amber and Mama Nette. So she goes over to Mama Nette's house, new house, whatnot, and she knocked on the door. And Mama Nette like, who is that? And then she said, oh, I forgot Amber was coming over. Close the door, open the door, Amber came in. Oh, I don't mean to disturb you. I thought we was going to lunch. So she said, oh, but I see you got company, so I don't mean to disturb your company or whatever, but I want to just tell you this and then I'll go. She was like, Mama Nette, don't you know that Shayla is the one that told Anthony about me and Wayne? And Mama Nette was like, are we still on that old stuff? She was like, yeah, Mama Nette. And it really upset me. And she said, Mama Nette, you got a type. And she was like, yeah, something like that. And so she said, she was just like, I really just want to go over there and tell her about herself, but then I'm not going to worry about it and stuff. And she kept looking and kept looking. And so she said, oh, Mama Nette, he got a bald head and everything. Like, he looked like he kind of favors Ken. So she started talking, and so when the whole time she was talking, she looked and she said, because he got up and he walked to the door. And, he came out, he hugged her. Mama Nette all smiling like she just graduated out of college. And so she said, what? No, 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 no. So it went on to the next skit, and she was like, I can't believe you, Mama Nette. I can't believe you. What are y'all doing? And Mama Nette still grinning. She said, this is nothing to grin about. This is not good. Like, Mama Nette, all that I've been through and all that you've been through, and you here doing this with him? So he tried to talk. She's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because once a dog, always a dog. And she was like, no. Mama Nette was like, no. It's not like that. And he was, she told him, she said, you're married. She said, I'm thinking about Julia right now because I know how it feels to be cheated on and it hurts. And Mama Nette, I looked at you like a mother. I looked at you, I had the utmost respect for you, but now you just Natalie. So now Mama Nette looking crazy, and she was like, Mama Nette, I know you don't think that he's going to marry you. I know you don't think that, because he's not, because they always come back. Clearly, they always come back. And what y'all doing is wrong. So she said, well, I tell you what, you better tell Brittany, one of y'all better tell Brittany before I do. No, don't do that, don't do that. Why not? It's more than what you think. She said, I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Y'all better tell her before I do. So she walked out. And then Mama Nette was like, well, I've never seen her this angry before, ever. I've never seen her this mad. So she ended up getting drunk. So happens Kelvin calls her. I got excited when I saw he was calling her. He called her. She good and drunk. Well, she ain't drunk, but she feeling really lovely. And he asked her where she was, and she said some bar, and he said, oh, that's okay. She said by the Lenox Mall. And he said, well, I'm right here. He said, can I get you, why don't you get an Uber to bring you here? And she's like, no, I'm just going to go home. He said, do you want to drive like that? I know you don't want to drive like that. And then she said, he said, I'll send the black truck at you. So she came, and she just was talking about, I'm so sick of people with the lies and the deceit and stuff. And she started telling him about it. And it so happens that, he tells her, like, I'm glad that he got her and he helped her because you're drunk. You can't be driving like that. No, Amber, I know you're upset. You're mad at Mama Nette. And now you want to tell Brittany because it's way out of hand now. And so He said, well, why don't you just come and lay down just for a minute? She was like, I'm not doing nothing with you. I'm not. He said, no, I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I just want you to rest. She said, well, just give me 2 hours. So she went to sleep. 2 hours later, he wakes her up. And when he wakes her up and she stands up, her wig comes off. And she got a blonde, she got waves. She looked so pretty with that. Like, she looked better. And I'm not saying this because Kelvin said it, because I'm team Kelvin now. You know, Victor, you going on about your business. It ain't about that. So I think they're going to put Kelvin and Amber together. I hope so. But when she stood up, she was embarrassed. And he was like, no, you look good. You look good. He said, you need to wear that more often. She was rocking that short. She can always rock a short, dude. But that blonde short waves, oh yeah. And she, that face was made. I like that. So maybe what y'all think? You think they putting Kelvin and Amber together? I hope so. I really do hope so. And I hope that she finds out about Victor and she runs to Kelvin. Anthony, you're going to be stuck out with Shayla in that apartment because she's going to get everything. Tell me what y'all think. I like that. Amber and Kelvin. Amber and Kelvin.